Okay, something interesting, very, very interesting happened. So I just shared my last piece of this piece of writing I'm doing, and I'm almost ending the book now because the whole message is being kind of fully articulated in pieces. And this specific piece was about the authenticity and the dark ages of the enlightenment age that we are living with social media and performance and everything. And to my surprise, as soon as I posted that, I got this news that YouTube is largely demonetizing AI influenced content and pushing for more authenticity and more original voices. Basically, meaning that the carbon copy AI content is gonna be demonetized, and what I think is happening, fuck think, what I see is happening is that in a new kind of wave of YouTube, slowly the whole AI content is gonna be sniffed out, and there is not gonna be any AI influenced content. And the only reason they're not doing it like fully at the start is literally like the slavery age of um, in history, that they didn't abolish slaves all at once. It's literally was gradually, both in the religious thematics that if you study Islam, the abolishment of slavery was in waves. You would free the slaves um, after getting them pregnant, and after that, you would buy slaves, you would trade slaves, you would slowly have elaborative waves of releasing the slaves, because the waves of abolishing slavery, enslavement, Jesus, would slowly take effect throughout the years. And then the historical kind of way of abolishment of slavery still was in waves. It wasn't like, okay, we don't have any slaves anymore, you know. So what I think, not think, what I said is happening because I'm deep in pattern recognition based on my law background as well as my marketing involvement, and just observation and pattern recognition throughout books, history, psychology, everything. Literally, I'm the guy who explains um, digital sovereignty in his thesis using anime metaphors. Yeah, that's basically the range of my pattern recognition. And in this piece, I um, observed and I wrote about that even now marketeers and marketing industry is moving towards more authenticity in fuck up stories and more less polished versions of connecting with people, because you connect with the emotions and the humanity aspect of people rather than talking about what I sell. They don't give a shit about what you sell. They give a shit about what you sell is gonna do what about their own self image and their own self importance. That's the basic of marketing. So you receive emails that instead of capital name, which would be the grammatical correct version, they betray grammar in the service of loyalty to authenticity. That, yeah, when you literally say, um, uh, let's say, hey, Madi, and it's not capital M, it's non capital, it's like the small m, it shows, okay, a human wrote this, this is not scripted. Even me fumbling on my words is just, this is not scripted. This is not like, this is me literally fucking freestyling to a camera. There is no makeup, there is nothing. I'm literally just vibing to my own voice, and my own thoughts are being articulated in real time. And I compared this to the dark ages, that when the church would hate materialistic approach to life, but they would literally hoard heavens. They would literally sell pieces of heaven. There is even this elaborative story that is fascinating, that one day they were selling acres of heaven to people. And one guy, I think was uh, the guy who literally pioneered Protestant, and in the like as opposed to Catholic church. He literally said, okay, how much is hell? And they said, okay, this guy is stupid, we're gonna sell him hell. And after that, next day, he literally said, okay, why are you buying heaven? Because aren't you buying heaven, paying for heaven to avoid hell? Hell is my property now. I don't let you trespass in my property. So I'm literally just, there is no need to buy heaven, because I'm not gonna give any inch of hell to any of you. So that's, whole plan was dismantled. And I pattern recognized, or drew parallels in my story, which is, the whole story is about identity and congruency with who you actually are. And the story is, what I'm doing with the story is, I'm freestyling the story as my Instagram caption. And because Instagram has like a 1500 words limit, or close to that, I expand the actual structure of the every single piece in this Socratic way of dialect, with this doctor persona, reflecting my own critical mind, as well as the established industry and established rigid kind of rules of how you should live life. And I elaborate on the ideas on LinkedIn, which is even more ironic, because LinkedIn is literally the pussified version of, most polished version of the corporate industry. I'm literally shooting my personal reputation in a dick, so in its pussy, let's say, personal reputation in its pussy. But the main point is actually, like, posting there is actually amplifying the message, because I'm saying, okay, this performative, flawless life of people is gonna die, because now we're actually accelerating the pussified version and elaborative AI version of flawless life on social media reels, highlight reels, on AIified kind of personality, that even a fucking 50 years old guy can have this AI persona of a 20 years old goddess of beauty, because the lines are blurring so bad. Even I challenged this in my master's thesis as okay, this is literally my whole Leiden master thesis, that we're gonna move towards this erosion of digital sovereignty, that we're gonna go back to the pre-mapping ages, because pre-mapping ages, mapping literally means external borders, and instead of having external borders that that are eroding with the digital kind of space that is everywhere, and it was the continuation of my own thought process of another master's I did about ownership in the metaverse, that was like It started like 3 years ago when metaverse wasn't that hot, or it was starting to become big. So the whole point was that now that we are actually um, eroding the external kind of borders for mapping age and for border crossing in digital age, we're gonna go back to pre-mapping age, which the sovereignty and the capital and authority of sovereignty would expand from within rather than be um, kind of established from outside. It's expanded from within, from the capital to the other cities. And funny enough, I imagined and I predicted this would be happening the early 2030s. And even my piece of writing about people's identity and disgust for this kind of pussified version of people's personality and performative piety of literally everyone is perfect, would start to is starting in a marketing world to erode, and people are gonna be more messy and more kind of open about their own flaws, because that's humanity of it, and the humanity of it is gonna lead to more connection rather than falsified perfection and flawless life that we share in Instagram or fucking TikTok or whatever, even fucking LinkedIn. So I predicted this would be happening early 2030s. But to my surprise, after I literally fucking posted that shit, I got the news that starting July 15th of 2025, this waves of abolishing and demonetizing AI influenced content is actually accelerating my vision of, yeah, this is inevitable. This is going to happen inevitably, because as surely as the dark ages disconnect between church hoarding money and hoarding materialistic gains and preaching despite of it, this disconnect led to the rebellious act of enlightened age. But now that we are in the light age, I call it, let's fucking copyright this shit. And this light age that we are living is actually the new dark age, the new kind of dark age that people are gonna rebel against this pussified version of kind of flawless professional life, that people are gonna intentionally, instead of just being themselves, they're gonna rebel so openly in marketing. We're gonna see more and more fucked up stories, more and more rebelliousness against grammar, against the industry, against everything, that this is actually gonna become a new norm. But as I said, as I keep repeating this, I thought this would be happening early 2030s, in like 5 to 10 years. But to my surprise, the AI is actually accelerating this. Even I had this conversation with AI about my writing, that I'm banking on this 20 years old vision of the writing industry is gonna be so saturated with AI, with everything, by 10 to 20 to 15 years, that the authentic writings that I'm having now, sharing with no one, no algorithm, no nothing, it's gonna blow the fuck up, because it's gonna be so unorthodox, and it's gonna be so gritty, so human, and so unapologetically fucking word human, that it's gonna be so scarce and so rare that people are gonna literally salivate for it. And by then, that's the rule of humanity, that scarcity always rules. And although now this is just the minority, and the scarcity now I'm showing is countered by the scarcity of AI, and people still don't understand how AI works, the limitations of AI, the extension of AI, the fear of AI, the identification of AI, and all of these. But in 5 to 10 years, or even 20 years, that AI is going to be predominantly everything. The scarcity of AI is going to disappear, and AI is not going to be scarce. And the only scarcity is going to be the human and unpolished version of a human mind, creativity, and the dirty soul and dirtiness of human experience itself, that's going to be literally shining as a black diamond, let's call it, So, yeah, I'm going to just document this and say, okay, YouTube is removing AI July 15th. And whoever watches this, if anyone, because I literally know people are gonna flood this video in 5, 10, or 15 years. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, okay, I fucking told you so 15 years earlier. And this is another like fucking flex on my pattern recognition and my kind of, not my as an ego, but as just seeing what people don't see. That's basically it. And that's the purpose of a writer. So I'm gonna add another thing that 15 years ago, no, that's fucking cap. I'm 25. 10 years ago, my 15 years old self had this elaborative idea that profane language and kind of more kind of what you call attacked personal reputation, that the more you swear, the more unfiltered you are, reflects honesty. And funny enough, last week or last month, I already made a video on this, but this is another fascinating thing, that 10 years ago, I had this idea that for me, authenticity is more profane language. But now neuroscience is actually scientifying that and saying, yeah, profane language, because of how it's perceived in the established society, it trains your neurons to be more authentic, to be more congruent with your vision of self that is someone unfiltered. And if you are someone unfiltered, your image, your self-image is gonna be congruent with every other aspect of your life that is inauthentic, and it's gonna shape you into more authenticity, which is fascinating. But yeah, that's the video, and see you in 15 years. But yeah.